Hello and welcome back. Thanks for joining me again on my channel. Today we're discussing my top 10 favorite Walt Disney World shows. This is just another opinion-based video, but I also throw in some more history, so hope you enjoy it and maybe learn something along the way. Number 10. The Hall of Presidents opened with the rest of the Magic Kingdom on October 1st, 1971. Obviously, this retro attraction draws inspiration from not only Walt's strong patriotism and love for such presidents as Abraham Lincoln, but also harkens back to the 1964 World's Fair because of great moments with Mr. Lincoln, which featured the first full-size moving, talking, and functioning animatronic. Some people would even throw things at the animatronic to see if they would flinch or react. The ride does obviously get an update every 4 to 8 years, but for the most part has not changed much in 50 years. Number 9. The Carousel of Progress opened with the 1963-1964 New York World's Fair, but made its Disney World debut on January 15, 1975, after a brief stint at Disneyland. Originally produced for and sponsored by General Electric, this show takes you full circle from the beginning of the 1900s to the modern day, which stops the 1920s and 1940s. However, this show has not been updated since the late 1990s, and therefore you stop at a future with very primitive VR and laserdiscs. This dated, nostalgic spin in Tomorrowland is still worth a ride, plus it features the voice of Gene Shepard, who, among many things, narrated A Christmas Story, the classic film that inspired many a generation to want a BB gun for Christmas. Number 8. The electrical water pageant started on October 25, 1971, and has taken place nearly every day since then, weather dependent. This dazzling spectacle of dancing lights and sea creatures in the Seven Seas Lagoon and Bay Lake features 14 floats that make up a slew of things, from dragons to octopuses to turtles and more. Be sure to check out this classic water show that always reminded me of the Main Street Electrical Parade, and is a fun way to cap off any night. Plus, it can be seen from most hotels that feature a water view. Number 7. Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular opened on August 25th, 1989. This half-hour show puts you right in the heart of the action with the infamous Indiana Jones. During this show, you'll get to see Indy get himself out of some pretty tight jams, complete with huge boulders, big bad guys, some airplane props, explosions, and more. Not only is this a must and a treat for any Indiana Jones fan, but a must for those interested in a little bit of movie magic and to learn how the movie magic is created. Thanks to the timeless writing of George Lucas, the show, I think, will stand the test of time for many, many years to come. Number 6. The Voyage of the Little Mermaid opened on January 7th, 1992, replacing the Here Come the Muppet Show. This shortened version of the Little Mermaid tale, sweet it there, has entertained guests for nearly 30 years. This was the only full attraction dedicated to Ariel, until on June 3rd, 2011, when the Little Mermaid's Undersea Adventure opened at Paradise Pier in Disney's California Adventure Park. Besides being the original Ariel attraction, this show also got a big update around 2015 when it received the super impressive Ursula animatronic. Be sure to check out this fun undersea story, and be sure not to sign any scrolls. Number 5. It's Tough to Be a Bug opened at Disney's Animal Kingdom in the Tree of Life Theater on April 22nd, 1998. A full 7 months before the opening of Disney Pixar's A Bug's Life. The show ended up proving itself to be so popular that another attraction was built of the same show at Disney's California Adventure in 2001, but was closed in 2018 to make way for the new Marvel Adventures campus. This show hasn't changed much since the inception of it, but still a fun-filled and adventurous way to gain some love and respect for our fellow bugs, even when they are crawling up the backs of your legs. Number 4. Muppet Vision 3D opened at what was then MGM Studios, and today Hollywood Studios, on May 16, 1991. This wild and wacky tour of the Muppet Labs and their impressive new technology, 3D filmmaking, is quite a fun little show. However, in typical Muppet fashion, things begin to go awry, and only continue going downhill from there, in typical zany Muppet style. This was also the last project worked on and directed by the infamous Jim Henson. Fun fact, Waldo, the spirit of 3D, is the first computer-generated Muppet. Whether a Muppet fan or just looking for a good laugh and a place to sit down, this show is always worth watching. Number 3. The Finding Nemo musical began with previews on November 5th, 2006, but officially opened on January 24th, 2007, and premiered at the Theater in the Wild in Dino Land, USA at the Animal Kingdom. This 40-minute show not only features breathtaking scenery and 14 original tracks, but some of the most interesting and at the time very advanced costume puppet hybrids that you have to see to believe. Did you know that the 14 original songs were written by Kirsten Anderson Lopez and her husband Robert, who is also known for writing things such as Avenue Q and Frozen? Number 2. The Enchanted Tiki Room opened originally at Disneyland on June 23, 1963, and at Walt Disney World on October 1, 1971, with the opening of the Magic Kingdom. However, originally at Walt Disney World, it was called Tropical Serenade. This retro, but at the time very advanced show, features tons of classic animatronics, and lyrics written by the infamous duo of brothers, Richard and Robert Sherman. The song was also sung by the Mellow Men, who sung parts in the Haunted Mansion such as The Singing Busts. This classic attraction has continued to inspire tons of new projects, such as the Trader Sam's Bar, which opened in 2011. Whether your first time or your 100th, this is definitely one you have to check out at least once, if not every time you're there. Number 1. Fantasmic opened at Disneyland Park on May 13, 1992, and at Walt Disney World at Hollywood Studios on October 15, 1998. Though this show is over 20 years old, it is by far the best show I've ever seen put on a Disney park. Complete with water, lights, projections, barges, pyrotechnics, tons of villains, and more Disney Easter eggs than you can keep up with. This nighttime spectacular is the perfect way to end off any day at the Hollywood Studios, because it is the last show to go on every night. Whether a big fan of the one and only Mickey Mouse, or the evil Chernobog and his evil forces, this show is an absolute must, even if you've seen it before. This has been my top 10 favorite Walt Disney World shows. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope maybe you've learned something along the way. Please feel free to comment, like, and share, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future, or any changes you think I could make. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.